put on the ocean, and you had to grab them and, like, I don't know how, but they went to get it. So they were studying the movement of the ocean and stuff.
Ah, wonderful. Yeah, they're the same kind of, one of these, yeah.
What kind?
It sounds like a lightweight one. You didn't have to learn much to do it. You can do it by yourself. You don't need anybody else to do it. Right. Well, now the question is, why would... Yeah. So the question is then, why would you do it? Because you want to contribute, yes. So that's the important thing here, is that why do you do these? And it seems to me that one of the main reasons you do this is because you want to contribute towards something. You're interested in outer space. You're interested in anthropology. You're interested in proofreading, in literary text. You're interested in the movement of the oceans, about pollution, about the environment. So why do you do that? Because you're interested in that big thing of which this project is part of. And what we call that is a co-orientation to a common area. It's a very, very weak tie because you just have a personal interest in them. And I think you'll find there's a lot of motivation between why people work in crowdsourcing. Why do people spend time uploading their local geographical information to OpenStreetMap? Because they're interested in being represented, they're interested in mapping, they're interested in geography, they put stuff up there. Don't get anything from it. None of these have any personal reward, and there's examples of everyone. I can tell you another one. I've been waiting for this to happen, and I saw it as I was driving a taxi yesterday. Up there it says the Twitter address for road problems. Yes, we have got a perfect example of a lightweight network. Everybody on the road really wants to get through this traffic. It's awful. And so you're all contributing to something, and everybody's individual. You're not talking to the person in the car beside you about it, but you're talking and letting everybody know. So this co-orientation, I have it from one of the slides later, the word co-orientation. I think it's very important for these, very lightweight, because you're not tied to other people. You're only tied to the idea. The social network has this idea of people's attachments to events. So that's matrices, you got people this way and events this way. And by common clusters of interest in events, you can get people clustered by events, and you can get clusters of events that are similar and clusters of people that are similar by their engagement in these things. So, the heavyweights, blogging communities, for example, Slashdot, big Live journal, a lot of stuff in citizen journalism where people are posting articles and there's discussion and there's commentary. All these things are building a place where people are paying attention and they care about what other people say. We've got some serious, new thing called serious writers. So basically, there are people who really, really like their hobby, and they get online and talk about it. They've got things like geocaching. For music, you've got Last.fm. Gaming communities, the amount of time people spend in gaming communities, and a lot of the gaming communities that are more successful are successful because you engage with people. You start building, saying, okay, I have to pay attention to other people. And World of Warcraft is a perfect time. You have to have one of this kind of person, and one of that kind of person, and one of that kind of character in order to do well. So you must connect with somebody, and they must connect with somebody of a different type. So you've got a perfect example of that kind of heavyweight, so you have to get different, and you have to consider what other people are doing. Fixing communities of practice, long-standing idea of work communities. We're getting a lot more now because a lot more on learning in general, because as information gets out there, and as we all know, you may go to school now, but when you're finished, you've got a date in a year, 2 years, so you're constantly looking for more information. So we're getting a much more widespread examples of places where people are trying to learn together online. And then we have all the open source projects. Again, very heavyweight. It really matters what somebody else does. And academic disciplines are always one of a really good example of a bunch of people who really pay attention to what everybody else is doing. That's too much sometimes, but pay a lot of attention to what we do, how we do it, and how we talk about it. Okay, how's my time here? Okay. But you know that. You never All right. There are a lot of differences between the two forms. Oh no, these two languages, not two forms. So as I go through these, please feel free to stop. I'm going to go over the contributions and contributors again, and then some other aspects. So the lightweight end, or you said many small, similar, and independent contributions. Now the thing that happens then is, if you've got these independent contributions, there's no judgment of quality. There's no judgment of quality of the time that your computer spends searching for extraterrestrial. But there is a count. So how many cycles did you donate? So what you get is very quantitative count. And the interesting thing in these lightweights is that you always seem to have some comparison of something, a little bit of competition there. Why do people contribute to stuff? Well, they may be interested, but on top of that, they can start a little contribution. So there's actually a site that will, some sites that will, for the point stuff, and take a more open platform for this. You get the statistics, and then you can boast about how many cycles your team. So everybody in your local area says, okay, well, I'm contributing this. And then your local area can say, well, we contributed 100,000 cycles, and they only contributed 50,000. It seems it's not going to motivate me, but apparently it does motivate some people to do that. So, I think here, this addresses problems of uncertainty. And we talk about problems of uncertainty and problems of equivocality. The problem of uncertainty is you know what the question is. The question is, where are these craters on Mars? You just need the information. So you've got to go out and get the information. The problem of equivocality, you don't know what the question is. So how should we best organize a brand new venture for Brazil? How should we, how should we redo the economy in Brazil? Well, gee, what questions should we be asking? It's an equivocal question. We have to figure out what the questions are first. So the lightweights are good for these uncertainty things, where you need just a lot of data brought in, but not so good for criticality, where you have to discuss things. And so the heavyweights are better for that, because you've got people who are committed and will spend their time working out what the questions are in order to move forward and go and get the answers. Oh, that's the next thing. Oh, yeah. Yes, the heavyweight is on the bottom there. And notice that what happens when you get into the heavyweight, you're working with a team of people and you say, oh, yeah,